Yeah, good evening, guys. So in last class, we have seen some course content, what we are gonna see, and we also have seen what is programming language. Okay, and in today's session, we are gonna see what are the real-time applications of Python. What are the real-time applications we can create with Python? Okay, so some uh, examples I'm gonna give you, or some points I'm gonna give you, what type of application and what are the different fields you can choose with Python to create it. Okay, so first of all, I'll talk about the first one. I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes.
So first of all, we'll talk about the web development. When I talk about web development, basically to develop a web application with the help of Python, okay, we have to use the front end part, we have to use the back end part, front end HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, and so many things. Similarly, we also have back end with database and Python. But there is one more thing called Django. Django is one of the framework we use, and that is totally based on Python. Similarly, we also have Flask. These are the Python framework, I can say, similar to our Java frameworks like servlets we have, okay, JSP we have, something like this. And data science we can use the like we can use Python to create some data science related applications, right? Like we use some libraries like pandas, numpy, okay, like this we use here. Similarly, we also have machine learning, different fields, different the libraries they have provided. Something like in machine learning we have scikit-learn and tensorflow. And next I can say artificial intelligence, I would say AI. Okay, let's write it, artificial intelligence or intelligence, I would say. Here also I can use some kind of keras, pytalk, something like this. We also have automation where I can use some kind of modules of Python like Selenium, like beautiful soap. Similar kind of thing, we also have some kind of desktop GUI. We can create desktop GUI applications where we may use some kind of Kinter module, Kinter module. PyQt is also there. Okay. Same kind of thing we can go for web scraping as well with the seventh, that is web scraping. Web scraping. In web scraping, we can use Scrappy, and more we have game development. In game development as well, we can use Python. With game development, we can use Pygames or Pygame, you can call it as. Similarly, you also have like mobile app development, where you can go for Kiwi. Kiwi is one of the module we have, library you can say. Similarly, you have the 10th one called IoT devices. IoT also you can use. Okay, some IoT like micro Python is there for this IoT. Okay, you go for IoT devices as well. Sorry, IoT applications as well, Internet of Things, right? Similarly, I'll go for database as well. Database management. In database management as well, I can go for some kind of PSY COPG2. Okay, psycho we call it as 2, and some natural language processing. Also I can go for NLP, natural language processing. Okay, I'll write it, natural language processing, NLP we call it as. There also I can use the Python programming language. NLTK we call it as the most famous library we have. We have Specie, we have. Okay. Similarly, we have the 13th, I can say processing. Image processing, where I can use something like OpenCV. We can use Pillow. Okay. So these many kind of libraries we can use, and I can say more than 25 plus applications we can create. Applications we can create using Python programming language. I have just given some examples here. With the help of Python programming, we can use more than 25 plus applications with it. Okay, so these are some applications you can say. Like in web development, I can use Django framework, I can use Flask framework, and these are my basically, if I talk about this, these are my libraries. When you want to use Django framework, you have to install the Django framework. When you want to use Flask, you have to install the Flask framework, right? Similarly, in data science as well, whenever you are working with the analysis, you go for pandas. Whenever you are working with like array, numpy, like array, different types of array, different dimensions of array, like matrices, you can go for numpy. So numpy panda has its own meaning. Similarly, we have machine learning. In machine learning, every algorithm comes under this scikit-learn, this. Okay, um, different algorithm comes under this scikit-learn. We also call it as sklearn, and TensorFlow, some backend you can say, and artificial intelligence, keras, pytorch, and so many things we have. We can use all these things. We can download all this kind of libraries to use in different fields. So I would say 25, more than 25 applications we can create using Python programming language. Okay, so let's first talk about the history of Python. From today onwards, we are going to start the Python programming. History of Python. Okay, we'll talk about it. So first of all, who is the inventor of Python? Who is the creator of Python? Who created Python? The name is Guido van Rossum. Guido van Rossum. He is the creator of Python, and Guido van Rossum developed Python in 1980s. Okay, so Guido van Rossum created Python in the late year, in the late year 1980s. Okay, 1980s. Then after that, Python 1.0 was released. Okay, it was released in 1994, and basically it was more focusing on the simplicity and the readability of the Python, right? So I would say in 1994, and was more focusing on simplicity and readability readability, right? Along with this, we also have got Python 2.0. Okay, the version I'm saying. This 1.0, 2.0 are version of Python, right? So 2.0 that was released in 2000, and which was basically introducing the importance, okay, importance of different features, like important features I can say, like garbage collector, okay, introducing important, I would say, was introducing important features like garbage collector and unicode unicode support. So I'll tell you what is garbage collector and unicode support, not now, okay. As we go further on, we'll see all those things, okay. So after this, they have also introduced Python 3 point versions, that is 3, the 3.x series you can say. So 3.0 that was also released in the year 2008, 2008, and the first 3 series version, 3.x version you can say, was released in 2008, and basically it was redesigned to improve the language consistency you can say, okay. And whatever the outdated features we had over there, it was basically it was meant for the removal of those outdated features, right? So basically in 3.x they have removed all the outdated features, and also they have improved some language consistency you can say, right? So I would say was a significant redesign to improve the languages consistency and remove outdated features, right? Now after this it kept evolving itself, like Python, I would say Python continues to evolve with, over the years it got evolved, okay. It kept evolving itself with regular updates and maintaining its popularity, like this, maintaining its popularity, okay. So see history, we will start with this. First of all, in 1980s, Guido, the name called Guido van Rossum, who is the creator of Python, invented Python, right? And the first implementation of this Python started in the year 1990s, okay. But there they have just started the implementation, and the officially it was released in the year 1994, okay, as the version of Python called Python 1.0. And yeah, 1.0, yeah, and more it was focusing on simplicity, right? Sorry. After this, Python 2.0 was released in 2000, and it was more focusing on the different features. That means important features like garbage collector and Unicode support. Okay, these kind of features got introduced in 2000, in I would say Python 2.0 version, right? After that, Python 3.0 version was released, which was more focusing on the significant design to improve the language's consistency and remove outdated features. That means it was more focusing on removing of the outdated features, right? And then Python continues to evolve with the regular updates. It evolves over the year, and now we are working with the Python. As if I talk about this, to download, or to use, I would say, to use Python, latest version of Python, I would say, latest version of Python, use www.python.org. Okay, you can access this particular website, www.python.org. Let me show you. So if you go for Chrome, just you take this, and python.org will come to this particular place where you can find out about download, documentation, community, success stories, news, events, everything you will be finding out. Okay, and only thing what you have to do, you have to just choose this where you have download section. Just hover to this particular section, you'll be finding the area where you will be finding out the button called Python 3.13.1. This is the new version of Python. Once you click this, you can download the Python software. Okay, and you install this. Okay, once you install this, immediately you go to your search bar and search the Python. So you'll be finding something like this, ideally like 3.11. I'm using 3.11. Also, I have 3.12. You'll be finding, if you are a new beginner, if you are, then once you download this, you'll be finding 3.13 version. Okay, something like this. Any doubt, guys, so far? Do you have any question? Yes, guys. Do you have any question?
No, no questions.
Okay. Next, after this, we'll see Python also got influence from different languages. Okay, like before creation of the Python, what Guido van Rossum has he has thought, he has some thought like, why not to create a particular language which can perform different tasks, how we, whatever we have, whatever the languages we have, if I merge all those things in one bunch, and if I create one, I would say one programming language, that would be more efficient, and that would be more, I would say, less time taken, as well as it would be more efficient for a programmer to create anything, right? So what they have thought, they basically have kept, or they have uh, extracted some features of different programming languages, and they have kept inside the Python. So basically I can say Python also got influence from different languages, from different features of different languages. Okay, so I would say Python inspired from. So I'll be talking about these different languages. Okay, and I would say Python got inspired from several programming languages, like first I would say ABC. Okay, ABC is one of the programming language. Okay, which basically Python got influenced for its syntax. Okay, ABC has a quite simple syntax, which makes the language so simple, and basically it is aiming for the readability of it. Okay, so I would say ABC influenced Python's syntax and design principle. Okay, design principle, which basically was aiming for simplicity and the readability of the programming language. Okay, so aiming for simplicity and readability of the language. Then after this, they have also took some important features from modular 3, we call it as modular 3. Okay, where they have got some features of exception handling. Okay, exception handling and the module system. And what is module, I'll tell you later on. So modular 3, okay, influenced Python's module system. Now what is module system, I'll explain you just after this. Exception handling and exception handling, I would say, mechanism. Okay, quite easy it is. Okay, we are just learning what are the languages, different languages we have, which from where it the Python got influenced. Okay, or the creator of Python, they got influenced, right? Similarly, we also have the third one called C programming. Okay, C programming, right? So Python borrowed C's syntax. Okay, C's syntax for what? For statements and the expression. Okay, different statements, different expressions. As C is also one of the simple programming language, but yes, it has some complications throughout the C, different topics, because as we move on to the advanced topic of C programming, we see that the complication will get more. We will get more complicated things. Okay, so to reduce, only things we have seen is we have kept in Python is what? C syntax. Okay, for statements and expressions, that making it familiar to C programming. Okay, we also have algo. Okay, there is one more we have called algo. Basically, we call it as algo. So this algo influenced Python's block structure. Okay, and also it is for syntax, the syntax for our flow control statement. Now what these are, no need to worry for now. Okay, no need to worry. I will be showing you each and everything will be seeing. Okay, so no need to worry what is this block structure, what is the flow control statement, I would say, and syntax for control flow statements. Okay, similarly we also have something like the fifth one called Perl. Often we have heard about this Perl. So Python borrowed regular expression. Okay, there is a term, there is a important topic we have called regular expression, which basically works with the string data. Okay, or to getting a spatial data from the string, set of string data. Okay, so basically we use this regular expression syntax. Okay, and string manipulations feature from feature from Perl. Okay. Also, it got influenced from our Java programming language, Java. Okay. So Python adopted Java's notation of packages for organizing modules and the namespaces. Now, what is this package? What is this module? Everything I will explain you. Just hold on like 1 or 2 days more. Okay. So I'll be explaining what is this package, what is this modules, and also some kind of, I would say, seventh one. We call it as C++. I would just say Python adopts the notation of, or I would say Python it so C++ influenced Python's object oriented programming feature, something like this you can write. Okay. So as all these things, when we get together to make a Python, it makes our Python more of a versatile and a powerful language. Okay. It is kind of a versatile which can perform all these tasks what we can perform in these types of languages, as well as it is one of the versatile and most powerful language we can say. Okay. So these are some kind of things we have. We call it as like from where Python inspired from. Okay. So Python inspired from these many languages and more we have, but I'm just taking major programming languages. Okay. So do you have any question, guys, so far? Do you have any question? No question. Okay. So I'll go for the features of Python immediately. Okay. I'll go for features of features of Python. The most important concept here we have. From here itself, we are starting our Python. Okay. So I would say language features. That is nothing but tool provided by the developers for building applications, right? So we have 11 types of features, right? In Python we have 11 types of features. First is simple and easy. Python is one of the simple and easy language. Second, I would say it is also known as freeware and open source. The third one is called as platform independent language. The fourth one we have dynamically, it is also a dynamically typed programming. The fifth one we have interpreted programming. The sixth one we have high level programming. It is also known as a high level programming language. Okay. The seventh one, we call it as a robust language, robust, or also we can call it as a strong language. Okay. The eighth one, we call it as both. It is a both procedural and object oriented programming. Okay. Object oriented programming. Next is, it is also an extensible programming language, extensible, and I would say one more called embedded. Okay. And the last one, it supports third party third party modules, or we can also call it as library or libraries, you say. Okay. So these many things we are going to see here. This 11 features one by one we are going to see here. Okay. And we will continue with it. So shall we start with it? Let's go for quickly. We'll go for the first, that is simple and easy. Why Python is known as a simple and easy programming language? Okay. So there we have some main reasons. Okay. Three main reason I'm going to show you why Python is a simple and easy language. Okay. First of all, I'll write python is python is one of the simplest programming language. Okay. For three reasons. I would say three main reasons. Number one, I would say it is a rich set of, or huge number of APIs. Okay, huge number of APIs. We also call it as libraries. Sorry. We also call it as libraries. Okay. So first of all, we'll see this huge number of APIs. Why we are calling this as huge number of API, and how this APIs are making our Python programming one of the simplest programming language. Okay. So first of all, Python has so many libraries. Okay. So first of all, I'll just write it here. Python has many library that let programmer reuse existing codes instead of writing their own code, their own. Okay. Or writing it from the scratch, I would say. Now what is API here? What is API? First of all, what is API? API is nothing but a collection of modules. Okay. A collection of modules. Now what is this API stands for? It is nothing but application programming interface. Okay. A collection of modules. We call it as a collection of modules. Okay. And what is module? Module is nothing but a collection of classes, functions, and variables. Okay. Classes, functions, and variables. Now what these are, I'll be explaining you about this. Not now, just try to understand this, why it is simple. Okay. Now what is classes, what is function, what is variable, that is a different case. I'll show you when it comes to the particular topic. Okay. But I will be explaining you what is module here. As we say, this API only makes our Python one of the simple language. But why and how? Okay. So first of all, I'll be showing you one simple example of this. Now I would ask you one question, guys. Let's say you want to create an calendar, I would say calendar example, calendar program, right? So max to max for you, just a random number you say, okay? How many line of code it requires? No matter from which background you belongs to, try to answer this question. For a calendar, let's say you want a particular calendar of a particular year. Okay, you want a calendar of a particular year, let's say 2025. Now to print that particular calendar, how many line of code you require? Just that you try to answer it. Almost of you belongs to the CS background, right? You just answer me this question. Yes, Srinivas, Satvik, and Prasanna, and Sai. You have the option of this message, right? So you can open the chat box and you can write it here. Guys, okay, fine. I'll go for it. See, first of all, library. Okay, we call it as module. In Python, we call it as module. And API is nothing but it is a collection of modules. Okay, and module is nothing but it is a collection of classes, functions, and variables. Right now, what this is? Let's say I want to write one program called calendar program. Right. So I would go for one module called calendar. It is a predefined module we have in our Python software, which is already present in our Python software, right? So if I go for this and you just see how simply I can write with the two line of code, how I can get the calendar. Okay, print off, I would say calendar dot calendar of, I would say 2025. Okay, you check it. I am getting the calendar of 2025, that is 2025, from January to December, everything we are getting here. Okay, see, with the help of only two line of code, how we have got this huge number of, I would say huge. It is obviously it is a huge programming. We don't know how we can write this. Okay, how they have written internally, we don't know. But yes, with the help of two line of code, I have written this particular program. How simply we have written this, you check it. And here you can see I have just written a two line of code to get all these things. Similarly, if I talk about the different programming language, okay, let's go and check the same example. Let's say calendar program in, let's talk about the Java first. whole year whole year calendar program, you check it. If I go for this, we have so many functions as well for in Java. Okay, we have some functions, and you can see to get the data of 2024 fourth month, that is like this. How many line of code you have to write, you can check it here. Okay, how many line of code you have written? Almost 100 lines of code you have written here. Not 100, at least 50 plus line you have written here. Okay, to get this only. Okay, and how many line of code I have written here? Only two line of code we have written here to get the calendar of 2025. Okay, Like this, I can also go for C programming. You go for C programming month by month. Like this, if you want to get something like this, you can check it here. How many line of code? Almost you can check here. The number of line it is showing is 189 total to get something like this. 189 line of code they have written to uh, take all those things. But how many line we are taking? Only 2 lines of code. We are importing it, we are writing this. Okay, basically what I'm trying to say here is, in Python there is a term called module where everything already they have written. Only thing you have to use that particular module and you can utilize it. Okay, rather than writing the code from the scratch, what you will do, you will just use that particular module here. So with the help of, you can see here, I'm importing that particular module called calendar, and here there is a calendar class. With the help of this class, I'm calling the function called calendar itself, and I'm calling the variable. Yeah, guys, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so we'll do one thing, guys. There is a network issue from my end. So we'll stop the class here. Okay, we'll continue this same class tomorrow. Okay, from the same point of topic. Okay, and we'll continue from tomorrow onwards. So tomorrow also will be the class from the same time. Okay, at the same time you join the class.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much, guys. So see you tomorrow. Have a great day.